Hey everyone, today I'm going to talk about back exercises, particularly core strengthening exercises. I get a lot of patients that ask, hey doc, what can I do for my back? And the big thing I want you to understand is that when we're talking about strengthening the back, the core, it's not about building bulking muscles. It's not about a six pack. What really it's about is about building muscle endurance. And, I like to compare it to a marathon. We don't need bulking strength from a standpoint of, someone pushing us over. That's always great stuff, but it's not necessarily what we're talking about when we're talking about strengthening the spine, strengthening the back. What we really need to do is to build muscle endurance, to be able to hold our good posture, during the marathon of the day. So what I'm going to be showing some exercises that you could do at home. They're very simple, but they could be very challenging. I find them still very challenging. So I'd like you to try these out. Obviously, if any of them give you any pain or discomfort, don't do it. And most of all these exercises that I'm going to be giving you today, they're all done on the floor. For demonstration purposes, I did the exercises on a chiropractic table. Don't do it on a like in the way that I did it. Don't do it on a bed. It's best to do it on the floor. Maybe have a yoga mat or do it on carpet. Okay, so I hope you like the exercises, and we're going to show them right now. So you can see that I am on all fours, and you want to do this on the floor. So what we want to do is we want to bring one of our legs back, okay, and the opposite arm up. So when we bring that leg back, it's almost like, you're kicking someone from behind you. I want you to really notice that I'm not raising my leg too high up. I'm doing that purposely. I want it where it's just off the ground. I don't want to raise it too high because that really can start creating some torquing through the pelvis. What we really want to focus on is really activating those postural muscles. A thing to note, just keep the head in a neutral position. And again, all we're doing when we are getting into this position is really focusing on tightening the core, the abdominals, and the glutes during this movement. And we want to be able to hold that movement. Okay, so we want to do this exercise several times on each side. Okay, and you can, try to hold it for about 5 seconds and then progress up to 10 to 15 seconds. If you can hold it longer, go ahead and do it. It's a great exercise. So this exercise is more of a stretch, but I really like it. And so we're gonna start on all fours. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna flex our spine. We're going to bring the belly button in. And as we're doing it, we're taking a nice deep breath in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to extend and arch the back. We're not trying to overextend. We don't want to put too much stress, but you want to just arch your back backwards. Okay. And then just do it gently. And what you'll find is that it's just a great way to, get the flexion and extension in the spine. The next exercise we're going to do are planks, more specifically the front plank. And so we're going to start lying on our stomach and our elbows. And we want to prop ourselves up with our feet. Okay, and we're lifting that pelvis off the ground. Again, really the focus is on tightening on the core, tightening on those abdominal muscles. You want to keep your head in a neutral posture. And let's start off with, doing it for about 10 to 15 seconds. Eventually, you want to progress as you do it and a little bit more regularly. I would recommend, doing these exercises pretty much daily. And then you can progress and you can find that you can hold a plank even longer, maybe 20 to 30 seconds. And even up to a minute and a half as you get really good at it. The big key here is trying to keep your posture nice and straight when you're doing it. You're going to have a little bit of maybe a little bit of flexion through the hips, but do the best you can to try to keep yourself straight. So you're really focusing on that core. And just very quickly here, for those that may have difficulties doing a front plank, there is a modified front plank where you're propping yourself up with your elbows and knees. So the next exercise are the side planks. More people are familiar with the front plank, but I know that a lot of people do not do side planks. And they're great because they add a lot of stabilities on the lateral aspects of our core. So here's the exercise. You lie on your side, try to keep your body nice and straight, and you basically you lift your pelvis and your hips off the ground with your elbow and your feet. Okay, and you can see how holding that can definitely activate your core. So you're always focused on activating your core, and you can start off by doing it, as little as 10 to 15 seconds, and then progressing up 20 to 30 seconds, even up to a minute and a half. Okay. So similar to the front plank, if you have difficulty doing a side plank, here's the modified version of it where you're propping yourself up with your elbow as usual and off your knees. The key with this is, again, trying to keep your posture pretty straight. Sometimes a tendency to lift off with your knees. Your knees are a little bit more forward. You want to try to keep your body in line when you're doing the modified side plank. And similarly, you can do it with the same amount. You can try 10 to 15 seconds all the way up to 20 to 30 seconds, minute and a half. All right.